friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. So today's video is another TMI Tuesday, and if you're new to my channel, TMI stands for Too Much Information, and this is a video series that I started ages ago where you guys can ask me any questions you want. It can be about me or life or your own things, whatever question you want answered, I'll find an answer to it. Let's jump in. First question comes from Tuna Fish, and you're asking me, have I ever met Brittany Lee Saunders? Yes, I have. Brittany and I met at IMATS maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We were both white blonde and little baby-faced babies. She's a really awesome girl. I like her a lot. Love her content, and we've definitely kept in touch over the years. Shaniza Niz, you're asking, what do I think are some of my biggest flaws? One of my absolute biggest flaws, and I think my friends and family will definitely agree, is I am chronically late. I am always late, and it's not from lack of trying. Like, I genuinely try to be on time. Time doesn't really have much of a meaning for me, especially working from home and not really having a set routine. I don't really have to have things done specifically by an exact certain time. I don't wake up by an alarm. I don't leave work at a certain time. I just work when I work, and I do things when I do things. And it's really tough when I'm trying to plan things, or when people are like, oh, when are you going to be there? It's usually within a half an hour of when I say I'm going to be there. It is terrible, and it's something that I still continue to work on. Another flaw that I've definitely seen come into action since I've started doing social media for a job is that it is very hard to construe tone online. And I think a lot of the time when I answer a comment or when I am speaking via text, even to friends and family, a lot of the time I can come across as aggressive or rude, and in all reality it's really not how I'm meaning it in any which way. It's just I'm in my own head coming across as direct, and that doesn't always translate. So it's definitely a flaw of mine that I have really tried to actively work on to soften my tone. So if you guys ever see a comment from me that you're wondering kind of what I'm meaning or where I'm coming from, I'm never coming from a rah place, because I have no need to. I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing. It's definitely something that I am going to continue working on. I don't think that anybody is perfect in that area, especially online, but it is something that I have definitely noticed over the years of doing this, and I am really working on it. Lizzie Cuss, you're asking, what was one of my all-time favorite lookbooks to film for my channel? That is such a great question. It's kind of funny because every single lookbook has been in such a different environment. My first lookbook ever was filmed in Auckland, New Zealand, and we filmed it on the last day that we were in New Zealand. And it was back when Glenn used to work for IBM, and so he would travel for work, get his work done, and then we might have like an afternoon on the last day to go and do something. So we were racing around the city, like dragging suitcases, trying to change in like public restrooms, and I ended up changing in like a Nike store or something like that. I was pretending to try on stuff and being like, I don't give a shit about your merchandise, I just need to change outfits. So definitely that one is super memorable. Also the fact that I edited the entire thing and my editing program fucked up and I lost the entire video. It was the most heartbreaking moment probably to that date with doing any type of media stuff, and I definitely learned a lot with doing that video. So definitely that would be one of my most memorable ones. Another lookbook that is definitely a memory is the one that I filmed when I was in Bali. And that was the first lookbook that I had ever filmed without Glenn. And as appreciative as I was about my friend filming, it just became so apparent that my videos work so well because I work with Glenn and because we have such a great dynamic of back and forth, and he knows what I want, or I'm able to really verbalize what I need or the angles that I need or what is important for that shot. And I didn't realize how thankful and lucky I was for Glenn's help until I filmed that lookbook. So I'm really happy how it turned out, and like I said, I'm so thankful that I got to do it in the first place, but I definitely learned that Glenn is my be-all end-all for helping me film on that day. Stephanie Hutchins, I loved your comment. You said, if you see more than one comment from me on the same date, don't be too creeped out. I had a lot of time on my hands, so I decided to binge watch some of your videos. Thank you, I appreciate that. And yes, I will be your friend. We can be online stranger friends. Message me anytime. I absolutely love that comment. Laws Doggy, you're asking me, what was the last thing that I did that really scared or challenged me? And how do I feel about it now? That's a really good question. A lot of things scare me. There's a lot of things to do with my job that kind of scare me. Like, I spoke at a few events in the past few months, and I don't know, like the night before I'm always kind of like, shit, like can I actually do this? Why are they inviting me here? Like do I actually have something of value to say? Am I worthy of being here? And it's just things that you really say in your head, and you say that negatively to yourself. And the funny thing is that, yeah, of course, the reason why they contacted me was because I could do this, because they believed in me to do this, and it's all me being the one that doesn't believe in myself. Which is crazy, because I feel like I'm a pretty confident person in most different ways. But yeah, I'd say doing maybe speaking engagements, a lot of the stuff that I've done with work is traveling alone. And traveling alone as a woman is a little bit scary. I don't know how many of you guys have ever experienced that before, but especially traveling to countries that aren't like your run-of-the-mill vacation spot countries where it's normal for like a little petite blonde woman to travel alone. I don't know, it's definitely one of those things that I always get a little bit nervous before doing, but I'm so grateful for having done that. Yeah, I think those are probably what's been scaring me recently. I would actually like to do a video on traveling alone as a woman and things to look out for or avoid or to do or things like that. Would you guys like to see a video like that? Let me know. Bethany Brazier, you are asking, if I could change some things about Australia if I was a member of parliament, what would it be? If I was a member of parliament in Australia, please note that I'm Canadian, I can't even vote, so please take this with a grain of salt. I would allow gay marriage, because if you didn't already know, Australia is one of the few first world countries that still does not allow gay marriage, and that absolutely blows my mind that that's still a thing. Anybody should be able to get married if they want to get married. Crazy talk. The second thing that I would change is I would have heavier penalties for domestic abuse. I know that domestic violence is obviously a problem worldwide, but I feel like Australia just has such a high rate of domestic violence and a high rate of reoccurring domestic violence. And I think that if there's heavier penalties or more programs for that, I think that it wouldn't be such a big thing in society. The last thing that I would do is legalize marijuana, and I feel this way for many, many reasons. For starters, cannabis prohibition has enormous social costs. It's absolutely ridiculous what the government spends on trying to maintain a prohibition that does not work. It is absolutely stupid, and the cost would go way down with government spending. On top of that, legal substances can be controlled and regulated. It's not going to be in the hands of kids or teens. It's going to be a regulated and taxed substance, just like alcohol. With that said, cannabis is less harmful than alcohol or tobacco anyways, so why is a plant being held to this huge standard of it's taboo and it's wrong and it's awful when it is way less harmful than any of the legal substances that are available? The legalization of marijuana would simplify the development and usage of hemp as a valuable agricultural tool. I mean, its medical value alone is reason to legalize, but there is so much to cannabis that the general public does not know. The government has completely force-fed information of this is a horrible thing and this is what the truth is when they're full of shit. And it's kind of a funny thing because I genuinely was the biggest anti-pot person in high school. I broke up with a boyfriend because he smoked pot. I thought it was the absolute worst thing possible until I started learning about it. And until you get into actually learning what the actual facts are and the educational side of what that is, you really won't have an actual formed opinion. You're just spewing an opinion that somebody else gave to you. So that is what I would do in Parliament. And if you have any types of questions or comments or want to know anything more about why I think the way that I do, I'll leave a documentary down below for you to check out. It is called The Union, The Business Behind Getting High. You can also check out the follow-up film, The Culture High. Both are incredible, incredible documentaries, and I really recommend you check them out. Tara Nail, you are asking what are some cheap iPhone apps that I have. And to be totally honest, I don't really use very many apps other than for like photo editing or like social media apps. I will definitely say that I did download the Khloe and Kylie Kardashian apps. I'm probably going to delete them though. They raised the price on them, so I'm not really keen on that. Glenn just installed a news app on my phone, so that was pretty awesome. You can kind of tailor an actual news feed to what you're interested in. What else have I used? I've been using FitList. It is a fitness app where you can track like your reps and your sets and what you're doing at the gym. I've used an app called Rock My Run, and that is, again, for the gym. It is like a music app that basically has wicked playlists that are already like match made for you, and you can kind of choose whatever you want. The cool thing about that is also that it can change the tempo of the music to go with your BPM. So I don't know, if you're like going really hard running and you want your music to match kind of your pace, it will match to your pace. I don't know, it's a really cool app. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really use other than just your basic social media apps. I'm not very interesting on my phone. The battery runs out too fast to use anything but like social media. You feel me? Sabrina Sass, you're asking, do I have any other dreams other than YouTube? Hell yeah. YouTube was never really a dream, it just kind of happened, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that is YouTube and what has kind of evolved and grown from this opportunity, but it was never like my dream to be on YouTube. I never once thought YouTube was a thing. I thought it was for like crazy cat videos and like, I don't know, news maybe? I did never look at it as a possible career or job or springboard onto something else. I have a lot of dreams. I would love to expand Socialize and have it be more of an internationally recognized brand. That would be absolutely unreal. I would love to design. I think that designing like sportswear or clothes or something would be incredibly satisfying and fun, because it is something that I passionately love to wear, and I have a lot of ideas. So I don't know, maybe putting that out to the universe, that might be a thing. I want to be a ski bum for a year. I want to travel to different ski resorts all over the world and snowboard with Glenn, and I don't know how I'm going to do that with a dog now, but like I'll figure it out. I definitely will be able to go back and forth and visit Lola, you know? I want to have a family. I'm so excited to be a mom one day. Not anytime soon, but I'm definitely excited to have a family and go camping and travel with them. And I don't know, I have a lot of dreams. I haven't really sat through and I guess thought too many of them through, but the funny thing is that you kind of have an idea in your head, and if you really want to work towards it, you do. And I think that I've done that so far with my life, so I feel like I'll just let it kind of sit and percolate and go from there. I'm going to end the questions on Sarah Kelly May, and you are asking, do I ever feed Lola any people food? And the answer is yes. I feed Lola a shitload of vegetables. She loves veggies, she loves broccoli, she loves carrots, she loves celery, she loves a lot of stuff. Obviously I don't feed her the things that are universally terrible for dogs, which are like onions or garlic or avocado. Those are not things that you should be feeding your dog, and make sure you look online for like a comprehensive list of what you should not be feeding your dog or your animals in general. But yeah, Lola loves stuff like that. I would never feed her like already prepared shit off my plate. I don't know, like things like that I wouldn't really do, like mock meat, or if I've mixed something with a sauce, I would never do that. But like fresh veggies, absolutely. She absolutely goes mental over broccoli. It's the funniest thing. She'll play with it, she'll flip it up in the air, she'll eat it. It's weird. But that wraps everything up today. I hope that you enjoyed today's TMI Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to leave it a thumbs up, because it helps spread my videos to new people, and I'd really enjoy that. I appreciate it very much that you guys share my videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I will see you guys very soon in a new video. Bye!